Hey, everybody, welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn, and his name is Patrick. He's not here today. He took the day off because he's spending some time with his oldest son for his birthday. So everybody needs to wish his son happy birthday. Teddy. Teddy's his name. Wish him happy birthday in the chat. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the chat to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. We got an excellent day for you today. Happy birthday, Teddy, says Roger. Got to have that. There you go. So when Patrick does watch this later today, which I think he probably will, he'll be able to see that you guys did wish his son a happy birthday. So he'll be here tomorrow for his mobile training at 11 on the YouTube channel, so you can pick him up back then. But sometimes we need a day off to do some things. We got to do some things, right? All right. So if you're brand new to the channel, let's get into it. If you're brand new to the channel right now, take a moment, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new live streams or videos come out. I've got a 6 p.m. video coming out on Friday. How many of you watched the Contra ETF video that was just put out? Just type a 1 in the room. If you didn't watch it, type a 2. How many of you just saw the most recent Contra ETF video? Dan says, Glenn, that haircut is fire. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I got them all cut. All right, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So I see the 1s coming in. I see a couple of 2s coming in, and that's fine. If you didn't, Joey's going to put the link up in there. Folks, we bring you great content, and both Joey and I sit back and go, why are so many people not watching the videos? Joey and I had that conversation this morning. All right, so we try very hard between Patrick and myself to put out good content. And actually, later on in this live stream, I'm going to have Joey put up a poll. What do you guys want to see in the 6 p.m. videos? All right, but I don't know what choices I should put. So put some choices in here that you would like to see in the 6 p.m. videos to get more people to watch. Because, again, we bust our behinds to provide you with timely content. And I look at the amount of views, man. And Joey and I, again, we just sit back and we're like, tell them what you said, Joey. Sigh. He's doing stuff in the background.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Okay.
We put a lot of effort into them, and
all right. So, I mean, the YouTube channel is supposed to be for you guys. So let us know what you want to see in the 6 p.m. videos. And I'm going to have Joey put up a poll to see what we can do about putting more content out for you. All right. So, Joey, take a look at the comments that come in and put up a poll of the 3 most talked about things that people want to see. All right. And we'll see what we can do to provide those videos for you. All right. And one more thing. Don't forget to hit the like button if you do like the content, talking about content. If you let us know that you like the content on the live, hit the like button. And then if you can all take a second to get more people here, share the link. Share this link. Get more people in here. All right. So I hear you, John. John says, we appreciate all you do, Glenn, just a bit busy lately. And I totally understand that. But again, we want to make sure that we're putting out content that you guys want to see. All right, that's what YouTube is all about. At least that's what we think. We want to be able to educate you. We want to be able, in my case, I want to be able to entertain you, but we want you to watch the videos as much as you can. So Fernando says, thanks for replying to me on Twitter. Listen, if I ask you to join my Twitter and you send me something, I'm going to try to do it the best I can. I try to do that with my emails as well. I'm not always as prompt to answer on emails, and I apologize for that. I do, but I'm working on that. Look at that. Andrea says, was not aware of 6 p.m. videos. So Andrea, that tells me that you have not hit the bell icon to be alerted when the 6 p.m. videos go out. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will be alerted to when new stuff comes out. So Joey is paying attention to the comments that are coming in about what you guys want to see on our, 6 p.m. videos. He's going to put up a poll later. Nart says, you are doing a good job, you and the team. Joey is the team. Joey's my main part of my team. Right, Joey? For the most part. Yeah, he's the main part of my team. All right, so let's get into it. Normally, Patrick and I give our insights on a lot of different things, but today I'm going to just start off with going into the program. My alert said, is the market ready for a rebound? And, what goes up must come down, and what goes down doesn't stay down forever. So I looked at the futures this morning. The market looked like it wanted to pull up. I did a short on the pre-market activity this morning. And then I'm going to look into the program. Take me off the screen for a second, Joey. All right, take me off the screen. There's the market, folks. All right, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's the market. And from that perspective, why is the market in this predicament? The market's in this predicament because the Fed came out and was very honest about what was going on and what he and the Fed and were going to do. The market didn't like it. Now, my opinion is the market should have been prepared for that, right? The market should have been prepared knowing that inflation is an issue, and the Fed's main tool to go after inflation was to raise interest rates. Joey put the poll up there. There we go. Thank you for that, Joey. Everybody in the room was looking at the poll. Vote for one of those 4 things that Joey put up there to see what we can do better for our 6 p.m. videos. But with the market being the market's just responding to what the Fed said. So is the market ready for a rebound? Well, we've got 3 days of the market being down. Possibly we could have been looking at a rebound today, but look at that. We're getting more follow through. Now, as a VectorVest subscriber looking at the VectorVest composite, I've got a level of support sitting at right about here. Joey's going to make me take this chat in a second. So then I'm going to click on the graph. Hold on. There we go. Now I've got our Facebook chat. There we go. What I've got right now, what was I getting ready to say? What was I saying? OMG. What was I saying? All right, so there it is. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a rebound today, but that didn't happen. So with that being said, how many of you are still playing the market to the downside? As a matter of fact, let me retract that question. How many of you are playing contra ETFs? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you still either don't understand or not comfortable with contra ETFs? Type a 2 in the room. All right, because the part 2 that's coming out on Friday, I am going to show all of you, the easy button to help you find the right contras at the right time. Wow, a lot of people watched it. That is awesome. That is awesome. Or not watched it, but are playing contra ETFs. And Fernando went the other way, did puts and put spreads. You know something? For those of you who know how to trade options, that's another great way to take advantage of the current market's conditions. Absolutely. But a lot of you, as I can see, are playing, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, a lot of you are playing into the contra ETF. So that's a great thing. And I think the majority of you right now should be in a happy place, should be making money. And that is a beautiful thing. That's what we want you to do. Maybe throw in some Canadian stocks now and then. Karen, we've been talking about that. And then it bypasses the both of us that on one of these trending Thursdays or midday markets, I would like to actually have up both softwares, the US and Canada. Joey, you got to remind me about that because sometimes I'd like to do that. Tom says, I just bought Contras yesterday, so the market should go up now. No, Tom, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And on Facebook, I've got Bob and Tom and Don. Thank you guys for being here. So good statement here. Police SWAT says too early for the market to go up. So I've got this level of support sitting at 54.49. That is the first level as a VectorVest subscriber to look for if we're going to get a bounce to go higher. All right, keep your eyes on that. We are sitting at I'm looking at 9 months. Man, why am I looking at 9 months? Let's go put this on a 6 month. I do have a 6 month low on the composite at 51.09. but I have a current level of support right now at 54.49. That is the first level for me to look at before the market starts to rebound. So police SWAT, I'm with you right now, but at least from a VectorVest perspective, I have a level of where I'm starting to look. All right, so that's what's going on in the market. Glenn, if you're going to cover the Canadian markets, could you do that in the UK as well? Joey, how about either it's got to be a trending Thursday. Maybe I have an all countries trending Thursday. How would you guys feel about that? How about on one of the trending Thursdays, I look at all of the markets that we track. You guys on board with that type of 1? If you're on board with that type of 2, if that's not your thing, that you really only want to look at U.S. stocks. Because we track 6 different markets. I'm curious to know if I dedicate a trending Thursday once a month maybe and look at all of the markets that we track, that would be the trending Thursday. David, why did you have to say that, David? And you know, the people who say 2, I'm really not judging. For those of you who say 2, I'm really not judging. But I like that. Yes, a global trending Thursday. I might do that once a month. Joey and I can take a look at that, maybe doing that once a month. How about, Dan, that would be for I would do for all of the countries that we have, I would do international trending Thursday. I'll at least try it once and see what happens. How about that? I'll at least try it once, and if it's got some good following, I'll do it maybe once a month. I might like that idea. All right, I might like that idea. We'll try it once, though. All right, Joey, those are 2 things we need to bring to the meeting on Monday. Well, there's only one thing. That was the international. All right, we'll do that once a month. Maybe we'll do it once a month. All right, so all of this is what I was talking about, is what's going on in the market right now. I'm going to go to some news. Let's go pick up some news. And let's talk about some of the things that are still going on as well. Let's go here. There we go. Fed Mester sees the benchmark rate above 4% and no cuts. This is important, and this is going to give a good feeling about how deep in the red we can go. And no cuts at least through 2023. So the Fed is not looking to cut interest rates all the way through to 2023. That is huge. And again, it gives us a good feeling of where we are in the market and where we're probably going in the market. And I don't know where the interest rate is right now, but I was seeing that we need to have the interest rate between 4 and 6% in order for the Fed to do some cutting when the time comes. All right. Jobs. 88 private payrolls grew by just 132,000. That starts to show that now people are starting to get a little stingy with jobs. That's part of being in a recession. Unfortunately, or in this case, fortunately, unemployment is still low. But that's going to look like it's going to start to change, especially if interest rates keep rising. It's going to affect companies' bottom lines. Some other countries probably won't see it live due to time difference, says Ron. That's true. But as soon as we're done with the live stream, it is live. It is in the recording, so everybody from all over the world can still see it. It may not be live, but you can still see it. Is this possibly just a little chatter? What is this? Move this. A little chatter, then look out above when we get a surprise announcement? I don't know. I don't foresee, Ron, a surprise announcement of cutting. I don't see that yet. But once that happens, the market will be poised to take off. Absolutely. I'll take a look at that forward. What is my support for the spiders? I'll take a look at that. I'm not really big on looking at forecasting how high or how low anything is going to go, but I can put it on the graph and I can give you a level of support. All right, so those are my 2 stories about what's going on in the market. I've got some stocks that are my picks today. Bed Bath & Beyond is going to be a bearish pick. Bed Bath & Beyond announces store closures, layoffs, and new financing to fix struggling business. Listen, I think that as a meme stock, and yes, I'm going to call it a meme stock. As a meme stock, this stock just pulled the rug out from everybody who invested in it. Now, I did take a piece of Bed Bath & Beyond. I made about 50% in the move, and I took my money and ran. Then we found out that Cohen got out of the stock. He got out of all, and the stock just plummeted, and a lot of people got caught holding the bag on that. Layoffs and unemployment is what the Fed wants right now. Well, that's a way of slowing down the economy. You know, and Steve Chappell and I had this conversation, and I was like, you know, the only way to fix this inflation is that the Fed's going to have to crush the economy. And Steve was going back and forth with me saying, he can't do that. And I'm like, now we see he's willing to do that. He's willing to do. He said that we're going to have some pain. So he's willing to do that. And you know something? That may be the only way he gets to get anywhere close to the number that they're looking for raising the interest rates and going after inflation. 70s inflation was put out of control till Volcker took action in 81. How many of you think, and Volcker was very aggressive with that, how many of you think that the Fed's got the backbone? Yes, I put that out there. Has the backbone to do what Volcker did? Type of 1 if you think that he's got the backbone to do it. Type 2 if you don't think so. Now, when I say backbone, we're in a hurtful situation because the Fed was late to the party, right? We all know that. He was late to the party. He called it transitory, the whole 9 yards. Now he's doing what he can do. I'm seeing the 1s and the 2s come in. Now he's doing what he can do with the only tool that he has, really. Well, he's got another tool. He's got to get a lot of stuff off the books. They're really not doing that either. Does it call for a Volcker-like mentality? Type a yes or a no in the room. Do you think that where we are right now as far as inflation is concerned, are we in need of a Volcker-like mentality to go after inflation? Type a yes or a no. I want to get your feeling on this. I don't know if we need that super aggressive, because he went, I can't say that, to the wall though. He went that to the wall. He did. So I don't know. I'm probably on the side of no, but I'm seeing the yeses and the nos come in. I'm on the side of no. The government will probably not let him do what he needs to do. But does he not have autonomy to just do what he needs to do, no matter what the government says? That's the IRS, not the Fed. And you're right. The Fed, the powers to be may say, yo, lay off. You can't do that. So CNBC is not even talking about the Fed QT impact on the market. Listen, nobody has to. The Fed came out of Jackson Hole and put it out on the line, which I applaud him for. He came out and just put it out on the line and said, this is what's going on. And he said, you know, folks, it may hurt, but I got to do what I got to do. And you know something? I applaud him for that. You know, hold on. I applaud him for that. All right, so we sure don't need 21% mortgages in Canada again. I hear you, Tom. The Fed can't fix our broken banking system. That's another whole thing, Dan. That's another whole conversation for another time. All right, so I got you. They want to get inflation down to 3%, right, instead of 2%. We'll see. All right. So this is going to be on my list of stocks today, but it's going to be a bearish play. All right. This is good information. Because Putin is shutting off gas to Europe, I'm liking this. Norway natural gas production could set a new record this year. And in looking at this, the European Union is reducing its dependence on Russian gas, natural gas, and has made some progress. Norway has displaced Russia as the top supplier of natural gas. Currently, right now, I'm playing natural gas. That's in my portfolio. I'm playing Boyle. The problem is with playing that ETF is that it is very volatile. Up big one day, down big the next day, back and forth. It is a very volatile play. So I put that out there. But I am playing natural gas right now. I'm playing natural gas, but I'm loving that they can, hopefully the EU could get some relief from Norway from a natural gas perspective. Please answer my question. What was your question? You do understand, Ms. Sharbeck, I got a lot of comments coming up here, so I didn't see your question. All right. And understand that if I don't answer a specific question, it's not personal. And I just scrolled up through the chat. I don't see your question. Joey, do you see it?
I just scrolled for it as well. I don't see it.
I don't see a question up here. So before you come at me just that way, please understand I'm monitoring all the chat that's up here. Joey's helping me out. I'm just putting that out there. I don't see your question.
From Sharbeck is market forecast at the beginning of the chat.
Market forecast. So we talked a little bit about the market. When I say
I think that was what they wanted to see more content of.
All right, so that wasn't a question to be answered now. That was part of the poll. That was part of the poll. Volcker was much too late to the party. We have better information now, and I believe we will not have to do what Volcker did. All right, I got you. Glenn, I live in Sweden, Norway. I live in Sweden. Norway can't solve this problem. So, Dan, can they help? Even if it can't solve it, and you know something? If Europe is that dependent on Russia, and Norway now supplants Russia as a supplier or an exporter of of natural gas, I'm not sure if that statement is true or not. If they've outpaced Russia as a exporter of oil, can't they just fill in where Russia wasn't? I'm not sure. All right. Europe says they have sufficient natural gas for the winter, which would be awesome. Maybe Sweden should start drilling. I ain't getting into that. I don't know what their thing is about drilling or not drilling. But I did like the story in regards to at least assisting to pick up some of the slack that was going to be going on since Russia was going to cut off the natural gas. All right, next story. First solar stock pops on 1.2 billion U.S. factory investment. I gotta like that too. I gotta like that. Now somebody sent me an email saying that the CHIPS bill wasn't law yet. I thought that it was. Can anybody back me up on that? Is the CHIPS, I thought it was signed into as law. Can anybody back me up on that? I swore that the $52 billion, the president signed it and that it was law. From that bill, chip companies are looking to expand in the U.S. for factories. And I think that what we went through with China and the solar panels, that solar companies bringing that manufacturing to the U.S. should be a good thing as well. The Fed is supposed to be non-political, just focus on what's right for the economy. Congress should, listen, what Congress should or should not do and how these things should or should not work are two different things. All right, so that's real, Roger. That's a real answer. I think he signed it as well like a week ago. I thought it was a done deal. Tom and Tyree are both saying the same thing. I honestly thought, somebody sent me an email though saying that it wasn't law yet. I need to look into that. USA, the interest rates will hit interest rates again. I don't see that. And I don't think U.S. interest rates are going to go up that high. I can't see that. Sonny said it was signed 7 days ago. Does anybody agree with that statement that the interest rates are going to hit 15%? Type of 1 if you agree, type of 2 if you disagree. I'm all aboard on 2. I don't think we get to 15% interest rates. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all, Lou. A lot of times, Lou, I agree with a lot of the things that you say. That's not one that I can get on board with. That is not one that I can get on board with. All right. Ravi says you never know. I don't see that. Lee says on August 16th, President Biden signed into law that's the inflation. That's not the right bill. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the CHIPS bill. Lee, I'm looking for the chips bill. Say more about First Solar. I like this is a strong company in the solar space. All right, we're going to take a look at it on a graph. They're gearing up to build in the United States. A $1.2 billion investment is big for the United States. It looks like it's going to bring a lot of jobs. It's going to bring solar production to the United States. So I think that I'm on board with that, but we will take a look at the stock. We will take a look at the stock. Remember, these are my picks for this week. Another one, ChargePoint. You know how I feel about the EV space. And a lot of people are saying that from an EV perspective, that we're just not ready. Our grid is not ready. Now, this was the infrastructure bill that I think is putting money into building the infrastructure for the charging. I think it's going to take a while. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I think that the money slowly but surely going into the states to shore up the whole charging scenario, I think is going to be a good thing. So ChargePoint is one of my stocks. They reported fiscal quarter two results that disappointed analysts in terms of earning, but the rest of the report offset the negative earnings surprise. Why? Because I think a lot of people know that this is something that's hot and heavy, especially if more people are getting into electric vehicles. This infrastructure for charging has to be built up. So even though they may have missed on earnings, I think long-term more people feel comfortable that this is going to be a place to be. QA says President Joe Biden signed the CHIPS Bill and Science Act, writing it into law. The bill includes $52 billion. Thank you. I thought it was. Thank you for that. Thank you for doing that. I thought that that was the case. Michael said the same thing as well. Both Michael and QA, thank you very much for it. Now, Dan says it's going to take decades. It's going to take a lot of years. I don't think it's going to take decades. I honestly don't think it's going to take that long. I still think that it's going to, realistically, I'm looking at 5 to 8. I'm looking at just less than 10 years. I'm thinking definitely at least 5, but less than 10 years before we get that short up. That's me. Marvin says, ChargePoint, low VST, when to get in. I'd wait for a buying opportunity. I think that's one of the stocks that I'm going to show today. I'm going to talk about that. What are your picks for today and tomorrow? We're going to get into that. Sai, you guys are all over. I got you. These are my 5 stock picks for this week. All right, these are my 5 stock picks for this week. I'm just going through why I'm picking them. CrowdStrike reports quarter 2 earnings. They beat on both the top and the bottom lines. In addition, the company's outlook demonstrates the CrowdStrike is a resilient business despite macroeconomic headwinds. All right, so these are my 5 stocks. Bed Bath & Beyond, which is my bearish pick. I do like Boyle from a natural gas. I do like First Solar, especially knowing that they're going to be putting some kind of an investment in bringing more solar manufacturing to the United States. I do like ChargePoint going into what's going on right now with the EVs. And I do like CrowdStrike because just like we got beat up by ransomware and stuff, this is a big company to go against that, to prepare people against that. So I still think long-term, these are stocks that I like. Now, the question is, what are my picks today for tomorrow? All right, let me start off this way. Should I be bullish or should I be bearish going into tomorrow? Type of 1 if I should be bullish going into tomorrow. Type of 2 if you think I should be bearish going into tomorrow. Now, understand the stocks that I have on my picks today are news-driven, I think long-term. Am I going to say that it's time to pull the trigger long on all of these plays? And the answer is, let's take a look at the stocks. So we're going to go to the Viewers tab. I'm going to come back to the fast-moving sectors in a second. Let's go to my picks for this week. All right, let's go to my picks for this week. Now, depending on what's going on in the market, I am still going to tell you, prepare to be more so on the bearish side. Let's graph all these. So I sold the news behind all of this. Oh, one more. I am bearish on the tech stocks as well because market's going down. Tech stocks are still big time going down. So that's my 5th stock pick for this week is the FANG-D. I'm bullish on that. All right. Now, let's talk about where all of these are. First Solar, let's go put this on a 3-month graph. First Solar, I'm bullish on that. Even though the market is down, I think that the news of what they are doing should keep me in a bullish side. Now, guess what? When the market goes down, 80% of the stocks in the market go down with it. I still got a 20% that sit back and go, well, you know, I'm going to do my own thing. And First Solar may be one of those stocks that is going to do its own thing. Roger says CNBC reports 8-9 that the CHIPS bill was signed. All right, I got to look at the email that I got. Uranium stocks are on a roll, far outperforming the broader market in a scorching summer for the industry. And those gains look set to continue as the global energy crisis draws attention on uranium. Dan, when we go look at what the fastest industries are, let's go see if uranium pops up in that. All right, so even though the market is a little bit more bearish than I'd like it to be, but it's the real what's going on. First Solar, I do like as a bullish play, and right now it's sitting right there with today's activity right there at the 3-month high. I'd be okay going 12 cents higher than the high as I go to buy it. Now, Boyle, even though I'm bullish on natural gas, look at the move today. Yesterday, the 3 went below the 8. Nice open candle today. A little bit of selling pressure at the top of the candle. If you're not in natural gas, I'd wait for the 3 to go back above the 8 first. I'm already in it. I was in it somewhere back here. I'm already in it, and I'm going to keep my eye on what's going on, and I'm probably, from a short-term play, going to look at the most recent low with what's going on right now as a way to get out of the stock. But if I'm not in it yet, let's wait for the 3 and the 8 to cross back above to the upside before you jump on board. But coming off of this low, all right, coming off of this low, I've got an uptrend on the stock. Look at that. Coming up off of this low, I'm going to make that a little darker. I've got an uptrend on the stock, so I'm still bullish on it. There's nothing telling me that I shouldn't still be bullish on it. And now with today's activity bounced off of that trend line and moving up, I'm still bullish on that. But if you're not in it, I'd wait for an end of day 3 crossing above the 8. All right, charge point. That was news driven. Big open candle today. The 3 and the 8 crossed up. Big volume. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. I'm looking at probably going 5 cents higher than the high. I do have headwinds, though, of the 3-month high sitting at that value of 1926. So I'm going to keep that in mind for you. Glenn, can you please say what you think about option for any of these stocks? If I'm bullish on the stock, Peter, then I'm bullish on buying calls. If I'm looking bullish on the stock, I'm looking at being bullish on buying calls. But I'm still going to step back. I may be bullish on some of these stocks based on the graphs, but do understand that we're in an overall downtrend in the market. All right, can't lose sight of that. There's the market timing graph. There's a market timing graph. Put this on a 3-month graph. Don't lose sight of that. Does that make sense, Peter? I may be bullish on a couple of those stocks, and there's reasons behind, which is why I always bring the news to the forefront. I'm bullish on some of those stocks for those reasons, but don't lose sight of the fact that the market overall is still going down. Does that answer your question, Peter? The transmission and distribution system needed to power the charging network doesn't exist. I still think it comes in less than 10 years from now. I still think so. I still think it comes in less than 10 years from now. Generating capacity is almost limited out, else we wouldn't be seeing usage restrictions and soaring rates. You know, the interesting thing about charging your vehicle, though, is that it's normally done on off-peak hours. Most of the charging happens while you're at home sleeping. When it's off-peak, that's an add. That's a plus from a charging perspective. That's a plus from a charging perspective. All right, what else is in this list? ChargePoint was in this list. CrowdStrike, even though I think long-term it may be a good play. Right now, though, let's go draw my trend line again. Oof. It dropped through. I'd be careful with ChargePoint. Even though I like the news, if I'm looking at the stock, I'm not real bullish on it right now. The 3 and the 8 crossed a couple of days ago, big down day. It's because they missed. Because they missed on earnings. I thought that's what the story said. Long-term, though, people are still bullish. I'm still bullish on it. Right now, though, I'm not going to tell you to take that stock. Right now, I'm not going to tell you to take that stock. All right, and last but not least, FANG-D. Look at the contra, the triple leverage contra for chips, or not for chips, but for tech, starting to move up. I like the play. But I've got 2 levels of resistance that I've got to get through. So somebody asked me about my level on the S&P 500. Let's go look at the SPY. Let's go put this on a 1-year graph. I got 2 levels of support on the spiders right now. My first level is at 391.90. All right. And we're pulling back. We broke through a downtrend. We broke through an uptrend. So that was bearish. The 3-8 cross prior to breaking down below this trend line. That's 2 things. It is falling. I've got a first level of support right now at 391.90. If it falls below that, I've got another level of support sitting at 371.80. Who asked me about my levels of support on the spiders? Type it in the room. Who asked me about my level of support on the spiders? Type it in the room. But those are my 2 levels, and this is based off of a 1-year graph. All right, this is a 1-year graph. But if everyone starts charging their cars overnight, no more off-peak. I got you, Paul. I got you. But that ain't happening yet. And while that's going on, and more people are picking up EVs, I think we're still going to be okay. Elon Musk says world needs more oil and gas to bridge renewables. I saw that story. I saw that headline. I was going to tweet it out, but I didn't. I saw that headline, and you know something? Where does the majority of our electricity come from? It comes from dirty coal and oil, mainly coal. All right, so, to get to the clean energy, we still have to use the process of dirty energy. Kind of a little bit of a dichotomy going on. Uber may be ready to run higher. I don't know about that just quite yet. All right, so those are my stock picks for this week. Normally we have both me and Patrick, but those are my stock picks for this week. I'm bullish on First Solar. I'm bullish on Boyle. I'm bullish on ChargePoint. I'm not nearly as bullish on CrowdStrike, and I am bullish on FangD. Those are my picks for this week going into next week. Let's go look at my picks from last week. Occidental Petroleum. I was bearish on Netflix. I was bullish on Enovix. I was bullish on the dollar. And I was bearish on Bed Bath & Beyond. All right, so I was bearish on both Netflix and Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's go back 1 week, back to the 24th. Let's go see what it looks like. Let's do a quick test. I was bearish on Bed Bath & Beyond, and I was bearish on Netflix. And then I was bullish on the other 3. But wow, ENVX got smoked. So that number, even though it looks bad, that's good into my behalf because both Netflix and Bed Bath & Beyond were supposed to be down. The other 3 were supposed to be up. Occidental Petroleum, I guess the news is getting old that Warren Buffett has got a lot of it. So those were my picks from last week and how they ended up. That number is down, but a couple of stocks I did want them to go down. Let's go look at Patrick's picks from last week. He only had 3. All right, Celsius, he picked up 2 Contras, which was a good deal for him. Let's quick test them. 3%, and that's because SDS on the Dow and UVixy both went up nicely for him. Celsius, which he was bullish on, didn't make any money. It was down 9%, but overall, between those 2 Contras, he did well. Glenn, I told you Uranium would spike like crazy. So let's go check and see. Those were our picks, my picks for you for this week, and both of our picks from last week and how they did. Let's go look at that. Let's go see what the Delta Searches Industries. Let's go look at the 10-day RT Delta. Let's go see what's popping. Let's go see if uranium is up in here. All right, let's go see if uranium is up in here. Up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. Man, it's taking a minute for it to come up. That's interesting. So what I'm looking for are the RTs, relative timing, 10 days ago, they were positive. And then over the last 10 days, I want to see what industries are still rising. Now, notice that uranium is not in here. Uranium is not in here, but I'm looking at 2 of these are petroleum. I'm still bullish on petroleum. I'm not going to tell you to buy it right now, though. I'm still bullish on petroleum. Chemical fertilizers, 16% was its RT delta. This week was up 22%. Wow, look at that. Pollution control, 10 days ago, had an RT delta of 39%, and it wasn't moving up nearly as much. I would stay away from that. Petroleum pipeline, though, had a 10-day RT delta last week of almost 1%. I've almost 1% and nicely up over the last 10 days. I'm still feeling petroleum. I'm still feeling energy. And I do like chemical fertilizers. So let's go do this. You're specifically talking about uranium. So I'm going to go to the industry viewer. Going to go to the industry viewer. And I'm going to go, there it is, mining uranium. There you go. Now, there's another thing. There's another way of being able to, it's the #1 industry out of the 222 industries we have. Bingo. Right on it, Dan. Right on it. Look at that. Let's go bring up a graph of the industry. And I think from a clean energy perspective, I still think uranium is also a good play. I did a video on it not too long ago. Joey, if you can find it, put the video up there. It was very widely watched. It was very widely watched. Let's go put this on a 6-month graph. Uranium is on the move. Last couple of days. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 out of the last 6 days, uranium is rising. And I think that that's a great alternative look for clean energy is to go through nuclear energy. Absolutely. Dan says he works in the space, but Dan, VectorVest is right on point with you. It is the #1 industry in the software. The #1 industry in the software. KL says, yes, sir. That is what most green people seem to miss. Oh, talking about the infrastructure. There's a lot of things. I still like to play from the perspective of making money. I still think that the market should have dictated the move of EVs and not the government. All right, so there's two different sentiments there. I honestly think that the market should have dictated the move, but from a perspective of helping you make money, I still like the EV plays, especially because demand is picking up. I saw Snap, and I tweeted Snap laying off people. If you follow me on Twitter, I tweet a lot of stuff. If you want to follow me on Twitter, go search for @Glenn Tompkins Jr. @Glenn Tompkins Jr. And I did tweet about that as a company laying off. And I tweet a lot about the companies that are laying off or thinking about laying off because the unemployment level is still really, really, really low. Still really, really, really low. But I'm thinking that with the rising interest rates, it's going to affect people's bottom lines. It's going to affect people's bottom lines. All right. So Dan, right on board, the #1 industry in our software, followed by food. Why is that high up there? Because people need it. Even in a recessionary time period, people need. You saw the video that I put out about, what was that video, Joey? Do this now. Was it to do this now? The preparation part of it, it was recession-proof stocks and ETFs. And part of that was food and people going to shop for food. All right. But we need food. We need healthcare. We need energy. But it's interesting that some of the top industries in here are things that we can't do without. Thank you for that. Joey put the video up there for you. Snap stock prices declined nearly 80% this year. I'm not a big fan of Snap. Is ON stock still a play to 150? You know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to look at some of your plays. I'm going to do that. You want to look at ON? Give me some of your plays that you're looking at. ON, I'm going to do that because Patrick's not here. And there's the recession-proof stocks. Joey put the video up there as well. I'm looking at Facebook too. What are the stocks that you want me to look at? I'm going to look at a few of them today. First come, first serve. So if you're slow to the draw, I ain't looking at it. Putting that out there. If you're slow to the draw, I'm not looking at it. So, huh?
The poll's done.
Oh, the poll is done? How do I get it?
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat? No, it's not.
You don't see your chat?
I'm looking at my chat. I see the 2 videos that you put up. I don't see I don't see the poll. I'm looking. What time? I'm just not gonna tell you time.
It's right underneath my recession-proof stocks comment.
Recession-proof stocks. I see that, and then I see Lou's comment.
Yeah, and then it's the poll.
Nope. Then I got Dan's comment.
All right. Well, it says Unisearch scans 34%, market forecast 34%, ETFs 22%, 8% didn't know about the 6 p.m. video, with total of 79 votes.
79 votes. That wasn't a lot of votes, but that's all right. That's why I'm asking you. So the top two were what? Unisearch?
Unisearch scans and market forecast.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Let me go back through my list right now. There's OWN. Where's my Facebook people? What are you guys looking at? ASC, Caterpillar, CRT, SQM, Matterport. What is that? M-A-T-T, Matterport, MTTR, comma, A-L-T. I got nobody from Facebook. All right, let's go take a look at these. Put these on a 3-month graph. OWN Semiconductor, I think, with the chips bill, OWN is one of the best stocks, I think, in the space.
On.
It's OWN.
Okay.
Nice move prior to the bill, after the bill, pulling back. Do I think it's got good upside? I still think it does. I'm never going to tell you to hold the stock when it's in a downturn, especially if you've got profit. I'm going to say right now, take your profit. I'd wait for a better buying opportunity. I'd wait for on an end of day for the 3 to go back above the 8. I still like the stock. Relative value, nicely above 1. Relative safety above 1. The stock's a fundamentally sound stock. It's got an RT above 1. Earnings per share at $4.27, growing it at a clip of 39% per year. I still like the play. But you know something? If you're in it and you're right now taking a hit on it, don't be afraid to take that off the table. Don't be afraid to take that off the table. Or if nothing else, you still like it long-term like me, don't be afraid to take half off of the table. All right? Don't be afraid to take half off the table. That's my take on OWN. On WTI, petroleum is starting to try to move. Big down yesterday, 3 below the 8. Nice rebound today. You know something? Even though the 3 looks like it was going to close below the 8 today, I like the rebound. Very little wick at the top. I'd leave it alone. I'd leave it alone if you're currently in it. You've got some profit. It looks like it didn't want to keep on going down. There was no follow through from yesterday's down day. Nice open candle, very little wick. I'd leave that alone if you own it. I'd still keep it. ASC, transportation ship. A little bit of a sideways move. Down day yesterday, finished with 3 below the 8. Another up open candle, no follow through from that down day. Little wick at the top. This is another one I'd leave alone. Now, let me go back to this. I'm going to give you a point where you should get out. I do like with the rebound today. Here's a level of support sitting at $5.99. Somebody, that was on WTI. All right. I got a level of support if it goes below that to get out of it. Their OWN, I've got a level of support. I got a level of support sitting at $66.97. That's a good level of support. If it breaks down below that, if you haven't gotten out yet, I would seriously think about getting out then. ASC, we just talked about. Caterpillar. I love Caterpillar. I think it's a solid company. The safety is not there right now. Relative safety below 1. It's got great upside potential. It should outperform a AAA corporate bond by like 36% over the next 1 to 3 years. But just in general, it's fallen. This is a 3-month graph. I think fundamentally the stock is good right now until it can get above this level of $200.29. I'd let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. Let the market come to me. Let it be. Yes, that's cheering. Type of 1 if that was awesome. Type of 2 if you hated that. Type of 1 if that was awesome. Type of 2 if you hated that. All right, so I'll put that out there. All right, so be careful with Caterpillar. I really need to see that stock break above that level of $200.29. Thanks, Glenn. I'd rather hear you telling us take profits than giving us coffee cups, and please don't sing. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Please don't sing. That's all right. All right. Let's go to the next one. CRT. Woo. This was moving up nicely. Big down day. But you know what I like about this? Even with the big down day, look how the 3 and the 8 held. Look how the 3 and the 8 held. Big rebound today. I'd leave that alone. I'm in a royalty too. I'm still in SJT. San Juan Basin, so I'm still holding a royalty as well. But look at that big down day, but the 3 still didn't go below the 8. I like that. Shows me that the stock's got some resiliency. It's got good upside potential. Jeff says CRT 8.8 dividend. It's got a dividend of 8.8. Let's go see something. I'm going to put on two things. Dividend analysis. Let's go look at dividend yield and add parameter. Let's go put on dividend safety. All right. Ooh, so be careful with that, Jeff. Be careful chasing yield. Be careful chasing yield. VectorVest has got the dividend yield at 7.85, but look at our dividend safety is at 35 on a scale between 0 and 99. Be careful with that, Jeff. That just tells me that they may have a problem continuing with that dividend. Let's do one other thing. Let's see if they can pay for it. So the dividend yield is at 7.85. I'm going to go to earnings yield. There it is. Their earnings yield is 7.63. Dividend yield, wow. And that's why the dividend is in jeopardy. They're not quite making enough money to pay the dividend. Does that make sense, Jeff? They're not quite making. They have an earnings yield of 7.63. But a dividend yield of 7.85, higher than what they're making. Be careful. Always, folks, be careful chasing yield on dividend yield on a stock. VectorVest will give you the rest of the story like I just gave Jeff right now. So, from a perspective of upside, it's there. Safety, not so much. I do like the rebound today, and I do like that the 3 is above the 8. I'm not going to tell you to play this for the dividend, though. I do like the move up, and I do like it was resilient enough to stay above. The 3 was resilient enough to stay above the 8. Woo! Chemical fertilizers. You know what fertilizer is all about? Fertilizers is all about that. All right, I got to play some of my sounds. We got some new sounds. But I'm not feeling it right now. Notice that the stock got to a level of resistance a couple of times here, sitting at the level of resistance of 106.50. It broke through and very quickly came back down. After the pullback, look at the rebound, right back to that level of resistance and pulling back. Be careful with SQM. I may be able to find a better stock in chemical fertilizers than SQM. Be careful with that. Looks like the 3 is possibly about ready to pull down below the 8. I do have a level of support sitting at 99.32. Be careful with this. Be careful with this. SQM is also in Lee business. I'm just be careful with this. All right. So that's all I got to say about that. Next stock, Matterport. Right at a level of support, trying to come back up. I'd like for the 3 to cross above the 8. Upside potential, not there, is below 1. Relative safety, below 1. RT, below 1. Right now, you may be liking it. I would not take it until the 3 crosses above the 8, number 1. Then it's going to have headwinds at this level of $5.45. So number 1, I'd like to see the 3 go above the 8. Number 2, let's see if we can get above that level of resistance. All right, and RT is below 1. Be careful with it. All right. Oh, man, who gave me this? That is a good stock. Good looking. Where's my chair? My chair. There it is. Good looking stock. Taking off like an airplane. Who gave me this stock? That's a good looking biomedical. Now, with a lot of biomedicals, fundamentally, they are not sound. Fundamentally, they is not sound. Marvin says just announced new tech. So, I'm not feeling this from a fundamental perspective. RT is clearly above 1. The stock is trending up. I do like all of those things. I would use this as a short-term play the news, but I keep my eye on the 3 and the 8. Once the 3 goes below the 8 end of day, I'd be ready to pull the trigger and get out of it. Does that make sense? Archer Daniels is a great stock, Dan. I don't disagree with you. I am a big fan of Archer Daniels. It's a good, fundamentally sound company. Was that all my stocks? Yep, that was all the stocks I was going to look out for you today. So between Marvin and Eton on ALT, I like that stock. I cannot lie. I like that stock. I cannot lie. Big open, so this is news driven. Keep in mind, though, it's not fundamentally sound. Keep in mind, it's not fundamentally sound. I like this from a short play using the news. Watch the 3 and the 8. Joey, put me on our end screen. All right, so we looked at what was going on in the market. I still think that the market still has some downside. If you're looking for predictions, I don't like predicting. The market still has some downsides. I gave you levels looking at our market timing graph, a level of support sitting at 54.49. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do the same thing for the spiders, just for you. Let's go look at the spiders, put this on a 3-month graph. I got a level of support on the spiders of 391.90. All right, let's go see if that level of support will hold. Joey, are you here? Can you please put me on my ending screen? Sorry. Well, you got me on the wrong ending screen. Even though Patrick's not here. That's all right. There we go. Oh, you didn't put it there. That's all right. That's all right. So with that, folks, hey, I want to say thank you guys for being here. There you go. I want to say thank you guys for being here. New Tech is Matador. New Tech was on Matador. Whatever the heck it was. Hold on. I'm looking at it. Joey's not showing it right now. That's fine. That's fine. New Tech on All right, so Matterport, you say New Tech there? I'd still wait. So that's news. Let's wait for the 3 to go above the 8. Let's wait for the 3 to go above the 8. How about that, Marvin? All right. News is great. Let the stock show you the way. All right. Let the stock show you the way. The news could be great, but if the stock is still going down, I'd rather put you in a better position to make money on the stock. All right. So end of day, I would wait for the 3 to go above the 8. All right. Thank you all for the kind words. I do appreciate it. All my Facebook friends. And Tom says, recap the NPI. You know something? I'm thinking about utilizing that. I have the strategy of the week this week. I was thinking about using the NPI, but I'm also might think about putting that into my part 2 video for country ETFs. So keep your eyes open for that, Tom. For those of you who are not aware of the 6 p.m. videos, folks, don't forget to hit the bell icon. Do it now so that you'll be alerted to when our 6 p.m. videos come out. I don't want you guys to miss it. I think it's time to sign off. I'm going to sign off. All right. So with that, thank you guys for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, especially if you like the content. If you haven't hit the like button, I'm only at 62 likes today. Wow. It is what it is. Listen, I'm still pouring out my heart for you guys. I want you guys to make money. So that's what it's all about. I want you guys to make money. 11 comments, 4 viewers, 5 reactions. So even on Facebook, I didn't get a lot of likes there either. Maybe I need to take a break. Joey, you think we need to take like a 1-month break from doing it?
Over it, man, yeah.
They could be over it. They could be. So we might have to think about that. All right, with that. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate that. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.